Hello everyone. Welcome to Skills Build Training YouTube channel. I am Sanya and this channel is all about showing you how to become an IT pro fast. So, in today's video we will discuss about 30 Mac operating system tips and tricks you need to know. There are dozens if not hundreds of Mac operating system shortcuts and tricks to streamline your workflows and make it easier to use your Mac operating system. Some of these are more basic and will work for all users, while others are a bit more advanced. So, let's get started. The first trick I'm going to talk about is Mute Siri. Siri does not have to speak her responses aloud. She can silently display them on screen. If you would prefer this option, click the Apple menu, followed by System Preferences and Siri. Finally, next to Voice Feedback heading, check off. From the same dialog box, you can tweak other aspects of Siri. Try changing the voice, and if you prefer a less cluttered interface, experiment with hiding the icon from. If you are running low on hard drive space, Mac operating system can help. At the top of the screen, click the Apple menu and choose About this Mac. In the window that appears, open the Storage tab and click Manage. To automatically remove cloud-based files that don't require local storage, such as iTunes, TV shows, iTunes movies, and email attachments, select Optimize. If you prefer manual control, pick Review Files to check out the largest file on your system and decide whether or not to erase them. The System Preferences application acts as a control panel for all of your Mac's settings, and in that capacity, it includes dozens of subsections. However, if you rarely use some of these items, you can hide them. Open System Preferences, either by launching the application or by clicking the Apple menu at the top of the screen and selecting System Preferences. From the bar at the top of the screen, choose View and click Customize to bring up a list of shortcuts. Now, you can uncheck the menus you don't need to access or restore items you would prefer to see in the application's main view. By default, if you move 2 fingers down the trackpad of an Apple laptop, your view travels down the open document or website. However, you can flip these directions to that moving your fingers down makes the view move up. Open System Preferences. Go to the trackpad menu. Under the Scroll and Zoom heading, check the box marked Scroll Direction Natural. Hot corners are one of the most under-the-radar sleeper hits on Mac operating system, and I highly recommend using them. To enable hot corners, go to System Preferences. Now from here, go to Mission Control. Now select Hot Corners and configure one or more of the 4 corners via the drop-down boxes. Well, I'm going to select Launchpad and then hit OK. Hot corners allow you to execute a specific action whenever you move the pointer to one of the 4 corners of your Mac's display. With just a flick of your wrist, you can perform actions like putting your display to sleep, showing the desktop, launching mission control, etc. The user library contains configuration files and folders for the applications and settings on your Mac. By default, this library is hidden within Finder, but it is easy to reveal the location by clicking the Go menu in the Finder and holding the Option key on your keyboard. Upon doing so, the user library folder will appear as an option. Click the library folder to open it and go to File, Add to Sidebar to add the user library as a sidebar shortcut. Of course, the user library should only be accessed if you know what you are doing, but I often use it to manage application preferences and to access configuration. Way back before Mac OS Sierra launched in 2016, The Mac's ability to listen to you and talk back was already impressive through dictation. However, that's been completely topped by Siri's arrival on Apple's Mac lineup. Beyond the questions you may usually ask, like the weather or who's playing in the playoff game, Siri can toggle system functions like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, or even pull up individual files stored on the system based on what you tell Siri about the file. Siri can even launch apps for you. Hey Siri, open application, Microsoft Word. You can also run Windows using Mac operating system. Sometimes it comes handy whether to play the latest games or run some piece of software that has no Mac equivalent. You can either run Windows alongside Mac operating system with a virtualization app like VMware Fusion, Parallels Desktop or VirtualBox, or partition your hard drive to install Windows on to run it full bore on your hardware using Boot Camp Assistant in your Utilities folder. For Windows user, taking screenshot can be a core. You can either use the print screen key to capture the entire of your display or use the snipping tool to snatch but a portion. Of course, some keyboards are not compatible with the shortcut, and opening a separate application to take a screenshot is a bit of a hassle. Luckily, on Mac, the process is streamlined. It is simple to take a snap of your entire screen. Simply press Shift plus Command plus 3 at the same time, and the screenshot will be stored on your desktop. If you just want a portion of the screen, the shortcut is Shift plus Command plus 4 with the same output directory. To only capture an individual window, you can press Shift plus Command plus 4, then hit space and click the window you are trying to capture. It is the 21st century, but we still using signatures on papers. Mac OS has made it easy for us. Drag a PDF into email you are sending, hover over it, and then at the top right, you will see a little button appear. Click it, and you get a range of markup options, including one for signing documents. What's more, you can either add your signature by holding a signed piece of paper up to the webcam on your Mac, and it does a fantastic job of cutting it out on the background, or by drawing on your trackpad. In various places in Mac operating system, you see the option of sharing things to friends and contacts from a little share button that looks like an arrow going up out of a box. The best bit, though, is that Macs keep track of how and to whom you most often share stuff. So, if you are in the habit of sharing funny links with a friend and airdropping files to a colleague sitting next to you, these options will get stuck to the bottom of the share menu to make it easy to pick those options next time. As cloud storage application iCloud matures, Apple has given it new abilities like syncing desktop folders to the web. If you have the space to spare, open System Preferences and go to iCloud. From this menu, look next to iCloud Drive to find options, where you can pick which folders and applications you want to sync automatically to your cloud storage account. On a laptop like MacBook, one of the biggest drains on the battery is the display. To save juice, you can make the computer go to sleep quickly after a period of inactivity, or tell the screen to dim slightly when running on battery power. For that, open System Preferences and go to Energy Saver to toy with these settings and make your battery last longer. Services like maps and weather need to access your location to help you navigate and prepare you for a rainy day, but they are not the only applications that can see where you are. To find out which ones have access to this information and block the ones you don't trust with your location, open System Preferences and go to Security and Privacy. In this menu, open Privacy and choose Location Services. From here, uncheck the boxes for any programs you don't want to track you. As a Mac user, you ought to be accustomed to everything being beautiful. After all, the graphical user interface has been a selling point for Apple computers since the original Macintosh. So of course you don't want your experience hindered by ugly desktop icons that can easily be replaced with the images of your choosing. Actually, doing this is easier than you might think. No, you don't need to download a sketchy third-party program to change the thumbnail images that appear when you save important stuff to the forefront of your computer. Instead, just right-click the document and select Get Info. Then copy the preview image you want to use in the preview. After that, click the existing document thumbnail in the Get Info windows and press Command+V to paste the icon from your editor to the File Info window. Your files are now way prettier and easily recognizable. By default, your instant messages stick around on Mac operating system forever, which is handy if you have a poor memory, but wastes disk space and could compromise your security. To have Apple automatically trim your message history, open the Messages application, click Messages on the bar at the top of the screen and select Preferences. Under the General tab, open the Keep Messages drop-down menu to limit the size of your archive. You can save the past 30 days of messages or keep your conversations for a year. Preview is an incredibly powerful tool, and it will only get more powerful in Mac operating system. Beyond letting you preview PDFs and images, Preview allows tons of annotations for PDF that are compatible with Adobe's PDF application, which is used by Windows users and companies, making it easy to share annotated documents with colleagues regardless of the platform they use. Double-click to open your file in the preview, and from here, you need to click on Markup toolbar. Here you can see different options. You can either create images, you can add shapes, and many more. You can also highlight the text in different colors. If you own an Apple Watch, you can use your wearable to access your Mac. When you are wearing the watch, your password-protected computer will let you launch the system while bypassing the login screen. Put on and unlock the smartwatch, then turn to your computer, open System Preferences and choose Security and Privacy. While under General, check the box labeled Allow your Apple Watch to unlock your Mac. The watch should buzz to confirm the change, and next time you turn on the computer, you won't have to enter your password again. Keyboard shortcuts are great for saving time, but you are not limited to just the shortcuts put in by developers. If there is a particular menu option you use all the time that does not have a shortcut, you can create it yourself. So for that, go to System Preferences. Now search here for keyboard shortcuts. Now go to Application Shortcuts. Here you can see the plus sign. You can add shortcut according to your needs. Here you need to give the title, and here you need to give the shortcut and add it. Now you can record whatever happens on the screen of your iPhone and your Mac operating system, which is not just useful for developers to show off the applications and games they built, but can also be great for things like creating little tutorials or even just recording a bug so you can help a developer or a company fix it. To use this feature, you just connect your iOS device up to your Mac using its cable, then launch QuickTime Player. Then choose the new movie recording from the file menu, and then, if it is not already selected for you, choose your connected iOS device. Choose whether you want to record screen. Once you are done, you can trim the clip and then easily share it to, for example, YouTube, Twitter. If you have speakers or headphones set up with your Mac, and if you have a headset or microphone connected, you may find yourself wanting to switch between different inputs or outputs. But this does not have to mean a slog to system preferences each time. Just hold Option and click the volume adjuster in the menu bar or press on one of the volume buttons on your keyboard. This will bring up a list of audio inputs and outputs. You can select the one you want. The iPhone comes with a feature that enables it to share its 3G or 4G mobile broadband connection with other devices, making it perfect for getting your Mac online wherever you are. There are 3 ways to connect your Mac to your iPhone to share its signal: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and USB. To begin with, go to the Personal Hotspot option in the iPhone setting menu and turn it on. If you want to connect over Wi-Fi, find the Wi-Fi network created by the iPhone in your Mac's Wi-Fi option and select it. To connect using USB, plug your iPhone into your Mac. There are 2 ways to connect your Mac to your iPhone to share its signal: Wi-Fi and hotspot. It can be annoying having to wait for someone else to print out large documents when you are in a hurry. So, use this tip to minimize the wait if you have access to more than one printer. Go to the System Preferences, and from here go to Printers and Scanner. You can select multiple printers and create a printer pool. You can then select this pool from the print dialog in Applications instead of your individual printers. And if one printer is in use, your Mac will automatically send the document to one that is free instead, so you don't need to wait. As you probably know, you can add multiple users to your Mac so that every person in your home or office can have their own space to work and to set things up how they like them. But there is another kind of account you can turn on, that is guest account. Turn it on in System Preferences, then go to the Users and Group, and now you will be presented with guest as an option at the login screen. Anyone can use it, no password needed, but once they are finished, everything they do will be wiped. The parental control in Mac OS are simple, but there are plenty of options in there, some of which are useful for other things than preventing underage access. You can limit computer use to a certain length of time every day. You can set a bedtime after which users won't be able to use the computer. You can limit the functions of the Finder, limit what applications that user can use, and more. So go to System Preferences. From here, go to Parental Controls. Create a new user account with Parental Controls. Now here you need to put the details. And that is how you can restrict what someone can do and when. Email is not really meant for file transfer, but let's be honest, we all do it. Problem is, many email providers flat out won't let you send attachments over a particular size. So sending large files over email is usually a no. So, with Mac operating system, you can email files up to 5 GB in size. What in fact happens is that the attachment really gets uploaded to iCloud and then a link is sent to your recipient where they have 30 days from which to download it. You can be quite flexible when it comes to windows in Mac operating system. Not only you can drag from any site to resize them these days, but you can also hold Option to resize them from 2 sides at once, the one you are dragging and the opposite side, or hold Shift to resize it while keeping it locked to the same proportions. And while we are talking about windows, if you want to move any that are in the background without bringing them to the fore, hold command and then drag them around. See your Mac activity with Activity Monitor. If you find your Mac is running slow or the fans are kicking in when you don't appear to be doing anything too intensive, you can see if you can identify what's causing it. Activity Monitor in Mac OS shows you how your Mac's resources are being used. Launch Activity Monitor from the Utilities folder to see current processes and the resources they take up. The columns show you things such as the CPU usage of a processor or the RAM it is taking up. If there is a process that is hogging resources and you are confident it is not needed, you can end it by selecting it, then clicking Quit Process. If you are just curious about how system resources are being used, click the tabs CPU, System Memory and so on to see graphs of your usage over time. If you hold the Option key and click on Notification Center icon in top right corner of your Mac's menu bar, you can actually activate Do Not Disturb. So it is so easy to activate it. So the last trick I'm going to share with you is backup your Mac. Okay, so we know that people have not actually forgotten they can back up with their Mac, but we also know that so many people don't bother. Please do. Ideally, you should be doing other things to back up as well, but at least do Time Machine. You can pick up a 2TB drive for less than 60 quid. Go on and do it today. Now go to System Preferences. From here go to Time Machine and here you can see the option Backup Automatically. You can check this box in order to back up your data, as I have done it recently, so I'm not going to do it again. So that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you need any help, reach out to us in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon. I'll see you in the next video.